Wander sits in a jail cell. He is back in Idaho, accused of killing young Michael Vaughan.
You're pure evil. You have no heart. You have no soul.
Wander is accused of murdering her then 5-year-old son in 2021. Would you think you'll ever get the answer as to why?
No, because there is no answer to why. Why would somebody hurt an innocent little boy? What answer could you give? What answer could you possibly give? How scared was he? Did he ask for me? Did he ask for Tyler?
Stacy Wander has been charged with first-degree murder and second-degree kidnapping and destruction of evidence.
Michael "Monkey" Vaughan went missing from his Fruitland neighborhood on July 27, 2021.
This is a criminal investigation.
Now, more than 4 years later, in newly unsealed court documents, Fruitland police named 4 people they believed are involved in Michael's murder. Those 4 names are ones we've heard before.
This is Sarah Wandra. This is Sarah's husband, Stacy Wandra. This is Brandon Shirtliff, Adrian Lucien.
As for what these 4 people have in common, they were all staying at the Wanders' home when Michael disappeared in 2021. That's just half a mile from Michael's home where he was last seen. In the PCA, police pointed to video evidence they say showing Shirtliff walking around the neighborhood. They say Shirtliff helped move Michael's body in a duffel bag temporarily to his mom's home in Kuna before standing guard as they buried him in the Wander's Fruitland backyard. Stacy Wander told police the 4 hoped to sell Michael for $10,000 each. He says the idea came from Adrian Lucien. Idaho News 6 is now learning Lucien was arrested and released in Indiana in October for a traffic-related misdemeanor. Sarah Wandra is currently serving time in the Idaho State Prison System for unrelated charges. She's eligible for parole in early 2026.
Karen, is there any connection between the Vaughan family and the home where police had been searching?
No, we've heard this more than once from the family representatives and from the police department that there is no connection between the Vaughan family and the home where this search took place.
As you know, from the time Michael went missing, this has been an all-hands-on-deck investigation, and it remains very active and an ongoing investigation. You can't take one of our most precious citizens from us and ever expect us to stop. During the course of this investigation to date, we received credible information that the remains of Michael Vaughan could be found in the backyard at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland. As a result, the Fruitland Police Department obtained a search warrant for the residence along with the front and backyards. That search warrant was served on November 11th. It was a Friday. We served that late in the evening. Upon entry, officers encountered Sarah Wandra, one of the known occupants of the home, and Sarah was subsequently arrested based on probable cause that she had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report that death to law enforcement. The following day, the Fruitland Police Department, joined by the Idaho State Police, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, the Fruitland Fire Department, and the Fruitland Public Works Department, began a very methodical excavation of the backyard of the Wanderers' home. During that excavation process, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, Mountain States detection dogs deployed multiple certified human remains detection dogs on the property, all of them alerting to the presence of human remains. Ground penetrating radar was also used and deployed, detecting anomalies in the backyard. We completed the excavation of the entire backyard and removed over 250 yards of dirt. Prior to backfilling the yard, the dirt was meticulously sifted for any potential human remains. We did not find Michael's remains. Although the remains of Michael Vaughan were not recovered, we strongly believe, based on evidence, that Michael was abducted and is deceased, and that his remains were buried and later moved from the property. As of today, the whereabouts of his remains are unknown. However, the investigation is active, fluid, and ongoing. Once the excavation was complete, we conducted a thorough search of the Wanderers' residence. The search was productive, and additional investigative evidence was recovered and is currently being processed.
An hour's worth of body camera footage showing Stacy Wandra FaceTiming with detectives and directing to where Monkey's body was buried in his backyard.
It's like right under that mound area. It's right under the mound. About where at compared to the trees?
A little like right to the right of the trees area. It should be, it should be a garbage bag.
Okay, what color is the garbage bag?
It would either be white or black. We only have two colors.
Is the duct tape still going to be over his mouth?
It should be.
Okay.
I didn't watch to take them off.
Okay.
So you should have everything intact as it was.
He claims he watched the burial happen.
Okay. How far down is Michael?
I don't know how far she actually dug.
And the she he's referring to, that's his wife Sarah, another suspect in the case. Stacy says Adrian, a third suspect, was also there for the burial.
Out of 300 homes, police say canines tracked Michael's scent to the home where Stacy, his wife Sarah, and their two roommates Brandon Shirtliff and Adrian Lucien lived.
As Joe mentioned, a newly released probable cause affidavit filed in June lays out the interviews following Michael's disappearance. Again, during these initial searches, police say canines tracked Michael's scent to the fence line of the home where Stacy Wandra, his wife Sarah, and their two roommates, Brandon Shirtliff and Adrian Lucien, lived. All four of those individuals have been named people of interest in Michael's disappearance. One of Michael's neighbors told police they saw Michael riding a bike outside of the Wandra's home the day that he disappeared. Another neighbor said they saw that same tricycle at the Wandra's home during a garage sale months before Michael disappeared. The Wandras initially denied any involvement, but then in November of 2022, Stacy asked to meet with investigators. The PCA states Stacy claims he was home the night Michael was allegedly abducted and saw Sarah carrying Michael into the house. Stacy allegedly told police it was Adrian's idea to take a child to sell for money, and they would get a $10,000 cut. Stacy claims Sarah told everyone to, quote, follow her lead. Stacy told investigators they took him to Brandon's mother's home in Kuna that night, where they left Michael overnight. Stacy claims the other three returned to Brandon's mom's house the next day and brought Michael back to the Wanderers' home in Fruitland. Stacy told police Michael was not alive, and Sarah and Adrian buried him in the Wanderers' backyard. 2 days after Stacy's interview with police, they executed a search warrant and excavated the Wanderers' backyard. The affidavit says cadaver dogs alerted to the same area where Stacy told detectives Michael's body was buried, but to this day, Michael has not been found.
You did. Today is May 15th, 2026. Welcome into Missing PNW, Crimes Revisited. My name is Samantha, and we have Miss Brandi Vaughan here, Michael Vaughan's mother. Thank you so much for coming, hun.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes, it's either, let me turn you up on my end. We are both wearing new headphones because we've been getting some echo a little bit during the live stream, so we're hoping to fix that today. How are you doing, hun?
Okay, I had a rough morning and I have a massive toothache, but I'm doing very well. Tired. I'm tired today.
I know. I am tired today too, and it's raining outside, which always makes me tired. Sorry you got a toothache. I know those hurt like hell.
Oh, it's beautiful here, and there's a slight breeze today. I'm outside, everybody, so you're gonna have to hear the wind chimes and the birds. There's no signal in the shop, and Buggy is home. They don't have school on Fridays, and I don't want her to overhear me. So she's in playing chess and cards with Papa. So if I have to mute or pop out, she's priority. Just to let everybody know.
Yep, no worries. I got plenty of news clips to put up if you need to take a break, so not a problem at all. You sent me a picture yesterday, so I'm putting it up here because during the first live that we had when we were talking about Michael, you were talking about his favorite Halloween costume of yours, which was Hulk. So there's little Michael in his Hulk outfit, and Ben is there with him, his big brother.
That was Ben's birthday party. That was, so Ben was turning 11 that year. Actually, he turned 11 that year, I believe. I could be wrong. I think I'm right. Like I said, I am tired, but oh, they had so much fun. Pidge did the eyebrows, but Monkey has perfect eyebrows, so you really didn't need to do much.
He's such a cutie. I love it. I love it. I love it. Ah, well, we'll just leave him sit up there for a minute. How about that? Hello, everybody coming in. Thank you so much for being here, for supporting Michael, for supporting the Vaughan family. I appreciate it. I know you do too. Um, Baby Kisses is in the house. Tara's here. Josie, missing persons around the world. Thank you, moderators, for coming in. I did see Purple a while ago, too. Truth to Light is here. Baby Kisses, Rowan, Criminal Med. Thank you guys so much. We've got Anna here. Monkey's Army is getting so big. Opal, thank you for being here. She says, as Brandi shares her sweet son Michael with us, please lift her up in love and strength. Thank you so much for all your beautiful messages and just being a wonderful, kind person. Shelly is here. Wood Chipper is here. So good to see so many familiar faces, and there's new faces, which is awesome because that means awareness for Michael is happening. Past is here. Great to see everybody. Lynn, your sissy, is here. Karen came in first. She's been coming in first a lot. Baby Kisses gave a little bit of a super sticker here. Thank you so much for that. I love that so much. We're going to just take a little dance for the super. I probably should have warned you because that gets loud in your ears. Yesterday, we left off after the first week of Michael's abduction. 5 days later is Saturday, the 31st of July. And that is when Brandi and Tyler did their first press conference. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. I know as we were playing that yesterday, you were talking in chat about how you and Tyler were doing just standing up there during the press conference.
Yeah. So, okay. I want to start this off a little bit. That morning, Tyler and after Tyler and I had come back to the house, my sister Emily and I had gone for a walk to go around the block, and we got to the end of the street right here on Washington, and here comes this huge 4-point buck running through the neighborhood, just into the, and he stopped right in front of the both of us, and we could have touched him. And me, my sister and I were just looking at each other, and we're like, did that really just happen? Because he just pranced on, that's like a dead end, and it just kind of goes into all the fields. And so we walked down and watched him prance through the field, and here comes this lady, bless her heart, and She pulled up next to us and she said, "Did you see that deer?" And we're like, "Yeah, he was big, you know, we could have touched him, talking to her." And she's like, he was he was creeping in bushes, or like he was
Oh
hiding in
my God.
bushes in the neighborhood over in the one directly across. Uh, oh, I can't remember the name of it, but she said she reported a suspicious deer lurking in the bushes in the neighborhood.
Oh my gosh, I love seeing
So,
wildlife like that out and about.
so that was, and we were laughing about it so hard because it was just everything had, you know, everything has just been so much tension, so much stress, so much anxiety, everything, and just to have something like that happen, um, we laughed all the way around the block, and we got back to the house, and we were crying laughing because we just couldn't stop. It was absolutely hysterical. And so then we head to the police station, and they bring us in through the police station, and we go, well, at the time it wasn't just the police station, it was City Hall. And so you have the public works department, you have everything, the mayor, all of them. And stay. Um, so we walked down, and we used, can't remember, it may have been public works office that we went into, and we were with JD, the captain from Idaho State Police, the Team Adam, the gentleman that was here, uh, the gentleman from the FBI. They had everybody there with us in this room. And the gentleman from Team Adam was there to get us laughing, have our spirits uplifted, and because it was impossible to be up there in front of people, explaining, listening to JD explain that Michael's missing, and the searches that have gone on, and we still haven't found Michael. Um, I was nauseous, sick as hell. Tyler and I were both shaking, pretty much involuntarily. But standing up there, you can watch as our mannerisms. You can tell when my legs start to buckle, my sister adjusts and pulls me up, and then you can see where Tyler starts physically shaking. Um, I could feel his weight pulling down. So we're all holding. Emily's basically holding the both of us up. Um, that was really really hard.
I bet you that was so nerve-wracking. Just trying to keep yourself collected while people are standing there and, the reason why you're standing there.
Yeah, and then so then we have all of the news stations out in front of us, and there's also all kinds of other people, independent reporters, community members. So there was a lot of people out there in front of us. Uh, when he was when JD was talking about this, some of the searches that have the details of some of the searches, you can tell how much it affects us because there had been some searches of, looking for a deceased child. That was hard.
Yeah.
But I just wanted everybody to know, like, before we did that press conference, we had all of them there supporting us. We were even told we didn't have to say anything if we didn't want to. Uh, but I did. Tyler did. I can't even believe I mumbled any words, to be honest with you. Thank you.
I could see both of your physical reaction. I could see your sister trying to hold you up. I could tell when Tyler starts losing it a little bit because he started bouncing up and down a little bit, like his legs were wanting to give out from underneath him.
Yeah.
And I mean, by this time, you had already collapsed a couple of times the second day
Yep.
and the day
The night
before.
before. Yeah.
And
So
you also said yesterday that this was when your anger really started to sit in. Can you talk to us a little bit about those feelings that you were having?
um, I was angry because I knew we were innocent, and shush, um, she had something to say about it.
Yes, you did.
I was getting angry because we weren't getting answers, and sorry, um, it just felt like we were the only ones being looked at the time. Um, we didn't know that uh, they had actually talked to the Wanderers and them, the next day.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So
was. It was the next day was August 1st. That is Sunday. Um, how was that day for you? The day after the press conference, or even let's talk about like after the press conference. How were you and Tyler doing after the press conference?
we were numb. I remember feeling just exhausted, worn out. We came home, I think I came inside and I grabbed some water and we went and sat on the lawn. I sat under the tree because it was hot as hell. I think I can't remember if it was that day or the next day when the fire trucks and the ambulances and um, the FBI were all down at the end of night, and they had the sirens going and everything like that. And we were out in the front yard, and oh, my heart, my heart, I had to see what was going on. I trucked my ass down there because the sirens were going and the ambulance was there and the fire truck was there. And I walked down there, and that's a pretty deep and heavy, very fast canal. Whew. This is one of those that I'll never get over ever. It's okay.
You're saying the
Um,
canal, so not the Snake River?
no, 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 no. So we have big irrigation canals, and
Mm.
they kind of run around us. Uh, that one at the end of the road goes under to the back side of the park. Uh, so I checked myself down there, and if you look, it's kind of like a little dip in the road, dirt road, and there's Whitley, or Old Whitley, right there on the other
Okay, so
side.
you can see it when you're coming into the neighborhood, right? The little canal there?
Yeah,
Okay, I know what you're
it's right
talking
off
about. I
if you're coming
remember
into the
seeing
neighborhood,
it.
yeah, it's off to the left hand side, right at the top of the hill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember
So
seeing that.
that
Okay.
right in that area. I stood there forever, look, because you can see from the highway just straight down that street. Because I was like, somebody had to have been watching. I felt maybe somebody was watching us. I did. Well, apparently somebody was, but
You
I
were
had
talking about that being difficult because they were looking for Michael down there, an unalive Michael.
yeah.
Is that what you're
So when I
saying?
got down there were divers putting on dive suits, and one of the FBI agents came up to me and told me that I shouldn't be there, and they were pulling the oh, it's okay, the drag hooks off the truck, and I told him I was like, I'm not going anywhere, and I sat my ass. I just plopped my ass down like a 2-year-old, and I was watching them, and it was just, I don't know why they had to have sirens going.
Yeah, Make that make sense to me too. Like, why would they have a bunch of sirens going? That doesn't make sense.
um, I didn't even know my sister and my sister-in-law had followed me down there. My sister-in-law brought her vehicle, and Emmy came and was sitting there, and I almost passed out. Then Emily grabbed me because I wasn't breathing, and then we went and we got into Chrissy's vehicle, and we sat there. There were people all over looking.
So sorry
It
that
was
you had
dragging
to
the
go through that.
security. Yeah, that's why sirens really. Okay, I will calm down.
It's okay. It's okay. You take a breath and pause anytime you need to.
Just
Anytime
that
you need
thought.
to.
I mean, they drained all those canals, and had city workers actually go in there. Yeah.
How long were they searching those canals?
I know that they had to, when they turned it off, they had to wait because where they needed to go. It was a little while, but a couple days, I'm sure, I think a week for sure.
Oh
I'm
wow,
gonna
so
get
a
her a phone
while.
real quick. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of different canals,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of farms around us. So give me just a second.
Okay. So the next day is August 1st. And in the probable cause affidavit, it talks about on August 1st, police go to the Wandra's house and they interview all four suspects. And that is right after this press conference. Um, are you aware of any of those interviews that they're doing?
No, yeah, I had no idea. The focus was all on us. And like I said, we just were there with the police at the police station more than we were home, either by us just going there to figure out what's going on, or them requesting us to be there. When I
So
say I didn't
yeah,
leave that police station, I didn't. It was a joke. Like it was, I should just set up a cot in the front of where the secretaries are, because I think there's so much.
and that had to have been hard being there all the time when you want to be at home in case Michael comes home.
Yeah. If I
Um,
wasn't with the police, I wanted to be looking for Michael.
right. And that's so understandable. Are you made aware of any interviews with any suspects at any time?
Not till later. Um, I can't remember when they said that they had information and videos. I can't remember exactly when.
So not even when they like interview or talk to the Starkeys because they were like the RSOs of the neighborhood.
Correct. No. They were looking at us. That was
Mhm.
where my focus was, and what we were seeing from law enforcement.
Right. So about this time, you're aggravated, you're mad, you're feeling like the focus is on you because you don't even know that other people, other suspects have been, spoken to.
No.
And then August 2nd and 3rd comes along, and in the probable cause affidavit, it talks about the live sent canine teams searching the surrounding neighborhoods, August 2nd and 3rd of 2021 using a pair of Michael's shoes from one of Michael's scent articles. And out of approximately 300 homes, canine handlers reported dogs only showed interest in the one house located at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland. And this is the home of Stacy and Sarah Wandra, and where Brandon Shirtliff and Adrian Lucian were living at the time. And were you aware that canine units had even been sent out that day, or the 2nd and 3rd?
Yes, because they had collected, the FBI had collected the shoe and the pillow on the morning of the 28th. On the evening of the 27th is when we gave them gave Idaho State Police collected items for Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue.
Yeah,
I keep wanting to say my clinic, my liver clinic. It's very similar, the wording.
Yeah, and you sent me a picture from the Payette Police Department, and this is scent articles collected by the Payette Police Department on the first day that Michael was missing. Is that correct?
Yes, there were a lot of agencies involved. So they came with gloves and brown paper bags that were sealed and all this stuff. And they picked up what I thought they were asking for. And those were the things that I gave them on the 27th. I think somewhere before, a little bit before Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue got here. After midnight,
yeah, it
around
does
midnight.
say that it was the first day, and then it says itemize and describe properly or property, and it says there was a pair of Spider-Man shorts, a white blanket, and a brown monkey. It says teddy bear, then it's kind of scratched out, but it was Michael's kind of teddy monkey that he played with. So they're the ones who get
I made
this
sure that
short.
he heard that clearly because I wanted to make sure we got that back.
Right. So Payette County, they get the Spider-Man shorts, the white blanket, the monkey, and then the next day, the 28th, after Michael is abducted, they receive the pillow and shoes. And did they also use gloves when they came in and collected those items?
Yes, they used gloves, and I believe they used something to actually pick these items up.
Okay. So you are aware that they're going to be using scent articles of Michael's to look for him. Did you know on the 2nd and 3rd that the dogs were out using those scent articles that you'd given law enforcement?
Yes, law enforcement did inform us that they were doing searches with the dogs and for us to stay here. They asked us, just to stay here at the residence, not go anywhere while they were doing the searching. And we did. I got curious a couple times.
Oh, sorry.
And walked to the neighbor's yard because you could see them, from the front yard up on the. You could see people up on the that private road where the single house is on the hill, the bluff.
Are you aware that the dog has tracked Michael at all, had hit or alerted in any of the spots where the probable cause affidavit talks about the dog hitting on Michael's scent?
We were told that Michael's scent was picked up. A few different places where Michael's scent was where the dogs had hit. Here on our street on Ninth, and over in the Bluff area, actually. I remember that because I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. So they did tell you that or that Banshee, because that was the scent dog that was out that first day, and second day, had actually hit over the bluff?
Yes. And I remember, well, and there were other dogs used as well, I want to say, that night, from Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue.
Right. Because
And
that's why they originally took the scent
yes,
articles the day that Michael was abducted.
yes, because they got here late that night.
What was your reaction to hearing that they had found Michael's scent?
I was confused. Why was his scent over there? He couldn't have gotten that far that fast without anybody seeing him. I was confused. I was scared. I think we were told Michael's scent had abruptly stopped, which means more than likely he was picked up and put in a vehicle. Or yeah.
And bringing that up, at what point were you told that, like, did they ever reiterate to you that they thought that Michael was abducted? I mean, when was that? Or did they ever?
I want to say it was, well, actually, from certain officers and the detectives, I want to say it was that night. It was trying to get the Amber Alert.
Okay. So they weren't publicly announcing it,
No,
but they have told
no, but
you.
the way they, yes, but the way they, how they treated us while investigating us, it, you you could feel that they knew we weren't guilty. You could feel that, there was things that we would talk about, and they would tell us, we're going to find Michael. We will find him. And then when it became whoever took him, and that was within the first 48 hours.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
basically the language that they're using with you is telling you, we believe he might have actually been taken. And then you have scent dogs hitting on an abrupt spot. Did you feel like your feelings, your mother gut instinct was being validated at that time?
Yes. I
How did that
absolutely
make you
did.
feel?
I still have that to this day. Like I said, I put all of my trust completely blind straight into them. I wanted them to know we were innocent and we needed our baby. And they they were doing their jobs, and they do their jobs well, and they do it with compassion. Because they're all parents themselves as well. And that kind of thing just doesn't happen around here.
I actually watched a news clip last night where J.D. Huff talks about growing up in that neighborhood where you live.
Yep. still not too far.
And let's go ahead and put up on the 4th, JD Huff does another press conference. This is going to be 12 minutes long, so you got a long breather if you need it.
Yes.
So
I know why the bird is being sent. There's a nest. I didn't know there was a nest. That's why it's yelling at me.
Oh no.
So maybe
Yeah,
I'll
we
see if
can
I
definitely hear the bird.
Sorry.
Oh no, that's fine because we can still hear
Oh,
you. But
and
I'm
this
going to
press
throw up.
conference, we were there. We were in City Hall. We were not on camera. We had come down to talk to JD and Captain Sai and Juanita. We did not want to be on camera at that press conference. Uh, it, Jesus just damn near about killed us that first one.
Right.
So
And so
we were there.
understandable.
They even asked JD, if we were there for the conference. He says no, but yeah, we just didn't want. We wanted a breather.
Right. Okay, well, let me throw that up here real quick.
Alerts by email, phone call, text messages being issued to area residents. First missing and endangered child alert went out at 8:20 p.m. with 4 different alerts via email, phone call, text messages being issued to area residents until 11:20 that night. Michael's image and information went out to law enforcement to a nationwide database known as NCIC, which is the National Crime Information Center that same night. Since the time of notification, the Fruitland Police Department, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Idaho State Police, and the Boise Police Department, assisted by 13 different law enforcement agencies throughout the state of Idaho, conducted a complete and methodical, thorough searches. These searches included nearly 200 residential homes and properties and interviews of all the residents. 5-year-olds can get into almost anything. So we've looked through nearly 200 garbage cans, drained canals and irrigation ditches, and pumped a septic tank in the area that had a makeshift 2x6 wooden plank lid. We've gathered 60 different videos from residential and business security cameras, and we're combing through that data as we speak. To date, we've received 163 tips. All have been assigned to investigators for follow-up, and many have already been cleared. Others are being worked on as we speak. We've conservatively estimated the number of man hours from law enforcement agencies to be in the range of 2,500 man hours, and that doesn't include our EMS, search and rescue partners, or the hours put in by the volunteers from our community. I got to tell you, I've never seen a police presence like this, and on behalf of Michael's family and the citizens of the city of Fruitland, I sincerely extend our thanks to the chiefs and sheriffs who have came to our aid, providing manpower and resources over the last week and certainly in the weeks to come. I would also like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to our friends and residents in the primary search area of Southwest 8th, Southwest 9th, Crestview Subdivision, Hidden Meadows Subdivision, and Three Rivers Way Subdivision. Your patience with our investigation does not go unnoticed. We've been through your homes, and in some instances, several times. And from my heart, I truly appreciate you. Our search and rescue efforts include the assistance of our citizens from the night Michael went missing to present. And I thank you, and I ask you to continue to search your property again. 5-year-olds are crafty and get into small places. Since notification, we've conducted an exhaustive ground search, employing the Idaho Fish and Game, Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue Team, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, both Fruitland and Sand Hollow fire departments, and a coordinated search effort by our citizens. We have methodically and thoroughly searched over 3,000 acres of farm ground with multiple certified canine teams. And we've searched 29 miles of riverbank using private fixed-wing aircraft, helicopters, sophisticated drones, boats with canines, kayaks, and paragliders. I'm unsure of the number of man-hours involved in that effort, but I'm sure it would mirror our investigative effort. Drone flights will continue along with riverbank searches by boat. This morning, the search continued in the area below Southwest 8th Street, where some heavy foliage was removed and a specialized canine was deployed. In the near future, we have a dive team scheduled to search pond in the sloughs down in the area of Southwest 8th. And our search effort and rescue efforts will continue as long as we have those resources available to continue that. We know people in this community and elsewhere are concerned about Michael, and we'll continue to issue updates as the best we can as the investigation continues. To our local media, I want to say thank you for working with us. You know, it's difficult to respond to every individual inquiry. I'll try to address your questions in updates as this investigation continues, and truly appreciate your patience with me. Please understand, though, that I can't detail the nature of some of the information we've received or the information that we're looking into, and we don't want to release anything that's going to jeopardize our investigation into this. What I can say is we have not eliminated any possibility. Nothing has been ruled out in this case. Social media, it can be a wonderful tool for us, but sadly it can also be a hindrance, especially when it comes to sharing accurate information. So if there's a development in this case, I will notify you personally. If the information on Facebook or social media doesn't come from me directly or the Fruitland Police Department, you need to consider that suspect. Rumors and speculation, innuendo complicate our investigative efforts. And so we appreciate your support in this, and just help us by doing that and respect our efforts. So back to the National Crime Information Center. Michael's information was entered into the missing child database there through the NCIC as soon as possible after he was reported missing. That means if Michael is found by law enforcement anywhere in the country, he'll be identified and we'll know what to do. What can people do in my community? Well, what I'd like you to do is search the immediate area. Please thoroughly search your property. I can't emphasize that enough. If you've looked once, look again, please. Look in all your outbuildings, vehicles. I want you walking your fence lines. We also ask that residents review any security camera footage for any sign of a small children in the area. We continue to say this, but children move around and they wander, and they may have traveled back into your yard without your knowledge. So please, search again. If you know something, if you know anything, perhaps you're unsure and you don't want to talk to us, maybe you're even afraid to reach out to us. We are here. We want to listen. We want to listen to what you have to say. Please talk to us. We're very grateful for the public's assistance. And again, we're following up on every lead that we receive vigorously. Our investigators are laser focused and our morale is good. We take care of one another. We're all in this together. We're committed to finding Michael, and we're not going to leave any stones unturned. We also want to emphasize that Michael's family continues to be fully cooperative. I'm going to continue to ask for the respect of their privacy. Please. Michael was last seen wearing a light blue Minecraft t-shirt with dark blue or black boxer briefs with a green stripe and a child size 11 flip-flops. He stands about 43 inches tall, 50 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes. He answers to the nickname Monkey. And if you see Michael or have any information into his whereabouts or location, please call the Payette County Sheriff's Office at 208-642-6006, extension 0. And that is our tip line. And so with that, I'll stand for a few questions. This will be something that the taxpayers will definitely be covering. We've got our state police agencies. We've got federal agencies involved in this. I can't see any of this falling on the family members.
Talked about a dive team. Could you touch on that one more time about where you're going to be looking?
Sure. So we've employed a dive team to come in here pretty soon. And the reason why we're doing that is because we have a lot of resources available to us. And where we're really not sure what happened, we're going to use every resource that's available to us. So they're going to be at the end of Southwest 8th Street, down by the Snake River in the slough area down there. You know, they did not today. So, but our thoughts and prayers are with them. You know, I have a few private individuals that have contacted me, reached out, and that will be coming. So.
You mentioned a few things that members of the community can do to help. What about people that are from out of the area that come in? What can they do to help, or should they try to stay out of the search area?
You know, I think they need to take a look at our flyers and stay vigilant. I think that's the best thing that they can do for us. We've got a lot of support in this community, and everybody wants to help. Like I said, we're all emotionally tied to this thing, and we certainly appreciate them. And our primary goal, the number one goal that we have, is locating Michael and bringing him home. Can I just touch on the finance aspect? I want to just thank our community. Over the last 7 days, today included, our community partners, business owners have donated countless amounts of food and drink to our search efforts. And I just want to throw it out there to them. They've been wonderful. The support has been great. And just a sincere thank you.
With the number of hot days that we've had, is the heat having any sort of taking its toll on the search or the people that are searching?
Yes, that has been a problem for us, especially with our canine units. They're tough, but they can only go so long before those dogs need a break. You know, and I guess I would say the same thing for our searchers. You know, sometimes they're in these fields slugging it out in the mud, you know, doing what they do. But my goodness, I can't say enough for them. Super tough. So.
Is there any concern with the recent rains that the canines might not be able to consent now?
Yeah, there are a lot of concerns when it comes to that. And after that heavy rain that we had the other day, that was one of our major concerns, especially with scent tracking dogs. So we'll continue to deploy those. It's still a resource we have available to us at our access, and we're going to continue to do that. So.
You heard anything about a motorcycle drive-by on Friday from Michael's family and parents that will be taking place around 7:15 p.m.? Is that something that you folks are aware of this time?
I have not. I have no knowledge about that.
You mentioned a lot of outside resources, and you're very thankful for those. Is there any timeline on when those are going to expire and not be available anymore, or is it a day-by-day situation?
This is a day-by-day situation, and I'll tell you again that as long as I have those resources available to me, they will continue to be deployed. Yep.
The search efforts just be focused on Fruitland, but have they also expanded to, like, say, around Ontario?
So our efforts outside of the city of Fruitland just include media, getting the information out there, as well as we've had teams of people posting up flyers, our missing flyers that were generated by our fusion center here in Idaho. So that, you know, other than that, that's where we're at.
Wow, hearing him talk about the heat, I remember Dustin Witt, the canine handler for the scent dog, talking about how overheated his dog got, and that Banshee had to take a little bit of break before going back out, and hearing all of the different law enforcement agencies and everything the volunteers doing, and the helicopter, kayaks, parachuting, like everything they had, like he was talking about, so many resources. It just absolutely blew my mind when I heard this. I'd heard it way back when I first started working on Michael's case, but just listening to it all again, I really believe, I mean, this is a week in, and everything that he's saying that he had done to look for Michael, they did such an amazing job, I feel like.
There was a gentleman, a family that I met. He had one of the fixed wings airplanes, and um, he searched for Fruitland Police Department. Um, they asked him some areas in which to cover, and after he did that, and they didn't, the science. um, sorry.
No, that's okay. But yeah,
He
just
was,
so much going on.
yeah, he was going out for months after, um, even after the police said, "Thank you for your assistance. We no longer need you to do that searching." He still did. Took his own fuel flying that plane around. It was really, I met his wife, and they had children, and monkey's age, and it has really affected so many members of this community, and so many members of this community, have poured their time, love, heart, and souls into trying to help find Michael. And all along,
Yeah.
there were four monsters hiding Michael and mine.
So because you were inside the building when this was going on, did you ever sit down and watch this that day?
Yes.
Were
Uh,
you aware at the time when you're watching it that that is how much effort that they had put into finding Michael?
I thought it was quite conservative, what JD said. I believe it was more. I think he was very, conservative about the amount of people and agencies, just so much. So they did not say no. They did not say no when other agencies came in. Fresh eyes were always welcome. Of course, vetted, So
How are you doing?
I'm breathing.
Okay.
I'm doing
I
okay.
know you said you had a rough day waking up and stuff today. I am so sorry. You
It's
let me
okay.
know at any time if any of this becomes too overwhelming for you today. I will completely understand. I just want to let you know we all understand that this is hard. So, so
I mean, JD, when he was talking about so back then when he was talking about the divers and everything like that down in the sluice down below the bluff, thinking back on it now, geez, they had Michael Sinton there in those bushes, so no wonder they were laser focused in that area in the Wanderers, that entire area over there.
yeah, that's just crazy. And so that brings us to so JD talking on the
Hmm.
4th, and then August 5th comes, and August 5th of 2021 is when the pink big wheel flyer tricycle is located behind the bluff. Um, and during the search of the same area the day before, the tricycle hadn't been there. There was a man in the neighborhood who had found it over the bluff where you're saying you knew dogs had hit. And then he didn't use it for the project that he wanted to, so he puts it back over there by the bluff. Had you heard anything about this witness that came forward and told detectives 2 days after Michael's abduction that she saw Michael riding a tricycle?
Not till court, or the probable cause affidavit, excuse me. Not
You
until
knew
the probable
nothing
cause
about a
affidavit.
tricycle. Nobody ever said anything to you about a tricycle, or
We were
maybe
asked we were asked if Michael had a tricycle, and we were asked, and we showed them his bike and his scooter, which are both still here. Michael didn't have a tricycle. So, and I don't remember them asking us about a tricycle. Um, no, excuse me. When Chris McDonough came and showed us a picture of that pink tricycle. Never got anything more. Have you seen this before? Did Michael
Wow.
have anything like this? Didn't have any other information on that. So that's why that damn pink tricycle driving me crazy because I had no clue that there was a witness that saw Michael on that tricycle, if they are telling the truth.
Right. And at the same time, if she's telling the truth, you play a little bit of devil's advocate and you take her statement away. Scent dogs or Banshee hit at that location where she says she saw Michael riding the tricycle. And then the scent dog hits at the fence where Carson Starkey says he saw the tricycle. Over the bluff where they believe the tricycle was. So this dog's hitting everywhere that this tricycle is, that Stacey Wandra is saying they used to lure Michael away. And then that's somebody else that you have to go if he's telling the truth. But obviously, because it's down over the bluff, in my personal opinion, Michael had to have touched it, rode it, or something, I think, just because the scent dog is hitting everywhere this tricycle is, and they discarded it. So that says a lot.
I thought of what if they had the tricycle with them and, you know, I don't know how they did it, if they just grabbed him and then maybe when they got out of the car, I don't know, had him ride it and then brought him inside. I have no idea. I don't, it drives me crazy because there's two people that have seen this tricycle in their possession of the Wanderers, in their home. Three people, excuse me. And one of those people say they saw Michael that day in that area on that tricycle. Why is Michael sent only on that tricycle and at the Wanderers and over the bluff because of the tricycle?
Yeah, even Stacey Wandra talks about the tricycle being on top of boxes when he's talking to Chris Madonna later on in an interview or confession. And then you have somebody that went to their garage sale in the spring prior to Michael's abduction who also says they see it on top of boxes. So there are witnesses that have seen this tricycle. And it is very confusing. I've covering this tricycle have gotten hundreds and hundreds of questions about it and several different lives. And I even had to go over the probable cause so many times I can almost memorize it now because I'm trying to figure out this tricycle, where it was, the scent dogs hitting on it, and all the things. And here you are, Michael Vaughan's mom, and you're confused about the tricycle. So all we know is that this tricycle is really important, but we don't know why.
Exactly.
We know Michael's scent was on it, but we don't know how his scent got on it.
Nope.
And it's nice to hear, actually, that law enforcement is keeping information close to the vest. They're doing a good investigation, because we all know the parents of missing children are the number one suspects. And the fact that you're not being told inside information says they're keeping things to the vest because they need to in order to protect Michael's case, because they're still investigating you, but yet they're also investigating a lot of other people.
Right.
You know, even
And
in
they
this
can,
process.
Yeah, and you can hear it in JD's language. I mean, he starts how he starts talking about, please come forward, like talking to the suspects. You can kind of hear it where after he starts he talks about man hours. You can, in his language, in my opinion, you can tell he's talking to the people that have Michael or the people that know.
Right.
That's what I got re-listening to that.
Yeah, I heard that too. Um,
Oh, so let me
and
clarify too. We were there at the police station with JD, but when he went out to the cameras and stuff like that, we went to our vehicle and went home. We didn't stay for the whole press conference or anything like that. We were there before, that they knew that we weren't going to be on camera.
okay, but you did
So
watch it, and
yeah, yep.
okay. So
And I'm sure we afterwards we probably had Scott or Cy or Juanita come by. It was usually one of them every day, if not more, if there was something going on like another search or we had to go do the DNA, the fingerprinting, like all of the things.
one of the things that you talked about yesterday, I want to kind of go back to. You mentioned that you guys were at the police station all the time and that Tyler was taking polygraphs, or you said, and were taking polygraphs. So were you and Tyler taking polygraphs that first week?
Only Tyler.
Okay, only Tyler. And I'm assuming that's because he was the one that was home with Michael the day that he disappeared.
Yes, my my location was verified, vetted. Dad, Grandpa's location, Pidge, Ben, um, all of us were. They knew where all of we were. Tyler was the one home and the one responsible, the one who called 911. So he had two polygraphs. The first one, I think he was gone for like nine and a half hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was. I was thinking, it was going to be long. It was going to be a long time. So, but once it got after like the 6 hour mark, I started messaging detectives. I think I may have messaged the FBI agent because Tyler, I couldn't do anything without him. I had to know where he was at all times, just like the kids. I think he was the only thing other than the kids like keeping me grounded. I'm shaking. All right.
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Like I said,
So,
remember I told you yesterday the reactions. It's okay. I'm okay.
so
Tyler, the
9
first polygraph,
hours? That
9
is
hours.
so long. And to sit there and want him home because he's your rock. I mean, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, he came home and he was just when he finally came home because the response that I got when I called, I think the third time when they answered was these things to do sometimes take a long time, Brandi. You know, they were kind. They weren't they weren't unkind for the attitude that I had. I was not nice
Did you know
because they
what
got to the point.
agency was giving him the lie detector test?
I think it was the FBI or Idaho State Police. He went and did it. Yeah, I think they were all done with the Idaho State Police because that's when mine and Grandpa's was done too. So that first polygraph test, Tyler came home and was completely distraught, and he said he failed it. I was like, what? Do it again. He's like, he told me that he was irate. He almost flipped the table, I guess. Jason, the the one that testified, his captain, or he was sergeant at the time. I don't remember, but I guess he had to physically hold Tyler because, like I said, I was collapsing and irate and unconsolable. So was Tyler.
So he feels this, and now he's like, oh my God, now they're really going to look at me. So he's not okay. He is not.
He's not in the slightest at all. And oh, hummingbird, cool. Um, I think Tyler just like shut down. That was. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Do you know what questions he failed during that polygraph?
Did you take Michael? So Tyler did end up. That question was, I guess, why he failed. Um, I guess that polygrapher was not so. I'm not sure what they ended up using a different polygrapher, or he did the next one, and they didn't tell him that he passed or failed. They just told him that he would never have to do that again.
Well,
Spring to a year later, we do all three. We all three do. So Tyler had 3 polygraphs.
so the first day he takes polygraph, he fails it. He's told it's because he fails this question, did you take Michael? Which
He
could
wasn't
mean
making
so
tests.
many things. Did you
Exactly.
take Michael to the store? Did you take Michael, to go drop Brandi off? Did you, take Michael go to school? So that question in particular could have caused some kind of confusion as to take Michael where. Because he knows he didn't take Michael and do anything nefarious. So he's probably really flustered at this time. And
So, and
then,
this is where I have this group of friends and that alleged friend that is I'm talking to and is interrogating me. If we look back on it now, it was she interrogated me the entire time, masking as what I did find she was a friend and helping. Um, well, what are you gonna? Well, why would they read him as Miranda rights? I am such an emotional mess and distraught, and I'm like, well, they're not going to arrest him because he's innocent. And, those recordings that were put out, that I'm dealing with this in real time, in real life, while this woman is clipping me. And yeah, I was like, oh, it, I was joking, well, I'll just go, talk to their wives. I would never do something like that. No, no, no. And that's how it got twisted, Tyler failed 2 polygraphs. No, he did not. And
wow.
the reason he failed the first one was because of the polygrapher, not because Tyler did anything guilty.
So you have somebody in your life who's befriending you, who is recording conversations, who's taking these recorded conversations, clipping them, and making it sound like Tyler has failed nefariously, of course, is what they're wanting to do, is try to make Tyler look like he's guilty for doing something that we all know isn't true. I am so sorry you had to go through that because, I mean, you have genuine people that are going to be in your life, and then you're going to have the people wanting to be involved, or in this case, flat out, befriend you to what, cause drama in a missing child's case?
Yeah. Yep.
And then the next day,
Kelly
he
got
goes
was
back.
there with me. She knows.
Yeah.
See, yeah, exactly. She lied.
Yep.
Yep.
Twitter
Purple was there
weasel
too. She knows.
says
Yep.
exactly
Well,
she
no,
lied.
actually, Purple came. I came because I came to YouTube after the Twitter weasels, but that friend was the one I met that person on Twitter. And then we went to Facebook. Excuse me.
And so basically what Brandi is saying here too is this information is put out on the YouTube streets and twisted. The Vaughan family has had to deal with quite a bit of this throughout the past 4.5 years. And it's just wrong in so many ways because Tyler doing these polygraphs are within the first week that Michael came up missing, with like that within 2 to 3 days. He is doing these polygraph tests, and immediately the family is already dealing with somebody that has befriended them, that has made them think that they are there for them, there for Brandi, her friend, pretending to be all the things. And yet you find out later on that all these conversations that you've had with this person, and all of the interactions and everything else, this person just wanted something completely different than what Brandi thought, was happening at the time. Brandi thought she had a friend that she could talk to. And it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. We're just waiting for Brandi to come back, and until she gets back, I just want to put up Michael's flyer. If anybody has any information about Michael Vaughan's abduction, there are 4 named suspects: Stacy Wandra, Sarah Wandra, Adrian Lucian, and Brandon Shirtliff. Stacy Wandra has trial in September. The judge did find probable cause from his preliminary hearing. Sarah will be charged in October of 2026, and the other 2 suspects are still free. As of right now, Adrian Lucian and Brandon Shirtliff. The telephone number for the tip line is 208-642-6006, or you can email findmichael@fruitland.org. Yeah, that's horrible that you were going through that right off of the bat. And having to deal with that. And then you said, so Tyler fails. Tyler takes another polygraph test the next day. He's not told whether or not he's passed or not. Oh, a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then you, Papa, and Tyler go take polygraphs way down the road, and it was
It was a year later. It was right before and it was when we unveiled the semi trucks from Camway Shipping out of Washington. It was with there's a, I have to give it right now, her in my face. A trooper. She had started the program. She passed away, and Tamara. I want to say, oh, I can't remember. It's been so long. I can't remember her name. But the Tuesday, I want to say Monday or Tuesday, right before we did that press conference with JD Huff and the unveiling of Michael's semi trucks, is when JD had said that the family is no longer the focus of our investigation. That was the best way JD could say that we were cleared, because Michael's case is still ongoing in an investigation. But that right, like 2 or 3 days before that press conference, we all went to the Idaho State Police headquarters. We were all separate, and we were taken into this room, and it's 4 white walls, and in front of you there's a computer, and there's like there's a monitor, and there's a headrest, and there's cameras, and then I think the things around the fingers. I can't remember what was there. Oh, and you had a mouse, so you had to click for if it was true or false, yes or no. And so you rested your chin and you like examined your eyes before you did. They did like the baseline, you know, asked you different questions to create your baseline. And so with asking the questions, reading the questions, and simultaneously answering them, how it works is way more efficient at detecting if you're being deceitful. They use it, I believe, for for backgrounds for becoming like Idaho State police officers or like different levels, I want to say, in government official offices like the FBI. They use them for them.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So there was a series of six questions. There were six questions and they were asked three different ways. And then the words were like moved around. I think I answered at like 99% correct because one of them I like double clicked or something like that, and I believe the question was, "Did you burn Michael?"
What?
Yeah, I saw that question, and it just, where did that come from? Excuse me.
Oh, wow. So Brandi is asked if she burned Michael. I don't have a clue why law enforcement would be asking her that question. If they had any knowledge of thinking that that's something that could have happened, but that is probably that's probably one of the most difficult things to go through as a mother, to be asked if you've burned your child. I'm kind of just sitting here a little bit mind blown right now. While Brandi is gone, oh, she's back. Oh, no, she's not. I'm going to put up another news article. Let me go over here to do this real quick. Let's see. This is a news clip on, so it's 10 days out after Michael Vaughan's abduction. Let me rewind it here. "10 days out after Michael's abduction, a news report goes out."
Well, bring Michael home. Those are the words plastered on flyers, signs, and social media posts around the Treasure Valley. 5-year-old Michael Vaughan has been missing for 10 days. Search efforts around the city of Fruitland and nearby have not slowed down, and people around the area say they won't slow down until they know where he is. Tonight, our Tristan Lewis shows us how neighbors are coming together for Michael and his family.
The search for Michael Vaughan continues, and the community of Fruitland remains vigilant in finding the boy and spreading the word about his disappearance. Billboards like this have popped up around the area, hoping it'll catch the attention of anyone passing by who might have any information to where Michael may be. Hope. It's what's been driving the community of Fruitland this past week and a half.
If my kids were out there, I would want every single person out there looking for my kids as much as possible.
Neighbors around town and surrounding cities have been staying busy, searching fields, handing out flyers, and putting up signage, all in the hope that something, anything, will lead them in the direction to where missing 5-year-old Michael Vaughan could be.
We need to find him. We need to find him.
People are wanting to do whatever they can to bring Monkey back home. People like Monique Peterson and Erica Moltke, who painted a few billboards around town that have Michael's picture and description.
I can't do much, I can't physically do much, but I can paint, and so that was my option.
As the search remains at the forefront of everyone's mind,
this little boy has become the community's son.
There are also efforts to show Michael's family they have support during this devastating time too.
This is their neighbor, this is their people, and for not knowing the family and for jumping in like they have, it's just amazing.
Dozens of bikers around town and around the Treasure Valley are showing support the best way they can by riding their bikes so the family can see and hear people are united with them. Even tying their handlebars in their seats with a blue ribbon, Michael's favorite color.
If there's one thing that we know about the motorcycle community in this valley is they come together, especially for children.
For this close-knit town, some prayer and some more hope.
Dear Heavenly Father, our little monkey boy is still missing.
Are what's needed at the end of the day.
We want to make sure this little boy comes home. And, we're going to make every effort possible to make that happen.
And
just a truly amazing community you have there.
That woman that painted, that's Momo. Tyler's known her for years and years and years, and I was blessed to meet her and become close friends with her. She was a lot of fun. Really incredible woman. All those people, Brooke Amber, sorry, that's not. She runs the Facebook group, the Missing Children's Project of Idaho. That used to be Monkey's page, solely for Monkey. But we have years ago taken it in a different direction to include all and any missing persons that could be in Idaho or that are in Idaho. That page has been run very, very well for a very long time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that bike run, we were informed of what time they were coming, and I'll tell you, just hearing the engines, he would have loved that. He would have been screaming and jumping. And
I can just see him now. He would have just loved to see all those motorcycles all together.
I was crying so hard when they went by, and it just felt. I was crying because of the love and the support, and you could just feel it. And some of them stopped and gave us hugs and brought us some ribbons and a couple other things. I think that was an amazing evening.
I love that. I love that you guys got so much support, especially when you needed it. You needed that support at the time, and I'm really grateful that you got that. Are you okay, hon?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
I know this
a lot,
is so
a lot was going on. There was so much going on.
Yeah, we haven't even made it through the first, 2 full weeks yet. And there's so much happening in your life. The fact that you can even get up here and talk about it truly shows your strength. We're all here for you. We all love you. Monkey's Army is so strong. And I know that it's difficult, especially on, a day you're in pain and not had the greatest day. So I just appreciate you, and I'm thankful that you're here.
You know what? Even though I'm in a little bit of pain, it ain't nothing. It's really not. It's beautiful out
Well,
here.
yeah,
So
considering what else you have gone through this past year or so with your liver and stuff, I bet you that
yeah,
pain barrier is pretty high by now.
yeah.
But
It's
toothaches
more
suck.
irritating than. Yeah, they do. They're the worst. Yep. I can't stand a headache or a toothache. Those are some things that will definitely. You'll tell. You'll tell my mood.
Right? Um, right before you had to get off screen for a second, you were talking about the eye retina test and telling us everything that was going through, how you had passed at a like 99% rate because you'd accidentally hit a little bit of button, and you had just got done telling us that one of the questions you were asked was, and I'm sorry to bring this up again, but if you had burned Michael, everybody in chat was completely mind blown by that question. Why law enforcement would even ask that if they had knowledge of something that you weren't aware of or whatever, or maybe even been told. But what an odd, strange, and very frightening question to ask the mother.
That wasn't the only one like that. There were two, I want to say, that had to deal with burning. And another one, what was it? Oh, did Tyler hurt Michael? That was another one.
And those were your questions?
Those were my questions, yeah. I've never asked Tyler. Or maybe I have and we've not talked about it. But I think Grandpa had, if I remember correctly, he did say he had a similar question of if Michael had been burned.
That's just crazy. I can't even imagine how that made you feel in that moment.
All I could think of is, why are they asking a question like that? What do they know?
Right, exactly. Because why would they ask a question like that? Like I said, unless some kind of knowledge of something.
Right?
Um,
And that was a year later.
wow.
Yeah, it was almost, I want to say it was what, in April of 2022? No, it wouldn't have been that long. Or, yeah, closer to the summertime. It was about a year.
Closer to the summertime of 2022, so April,
Yeah,
Mayish, March, April, Mayish of whatever.
if I remember correctly, yeah, because I remember the weather being like this.
Something that you and I have been speaking about that you have brought up many, many times, wanting to talk about is the reward money. Because you want people to understand, you know, them getting them reward money, what happens when they get the reward money. Do you want me to play the videos that I have first, or do you want to talk about it and then I can play the videos?
Go ahead and play the video first.
Okay. Let me just, I gotta pull them up real quick.
That's better.
Oh, let's do that one. What happened? It isn't. It said, oops. Hold on a second. There you go. This is an anonymous donor clip that I found that I've actually spoken to you about.
At 10, a $10,000 reward is now active for the safe return of the missing 5-year-old Fruitland boy, Michael Vaughan. Michael has been missing since July 27th. The search began, or rather, I should say, the search between investigators and community members is still very active. Fruitland Police Chief J.D. Huff says the reward was donated by an anonymous person who just wants to see Michael back home with his family.
It was a pretty special deal there, as we haven't had that. This is it's a significant event for us, and that we're hoping that having that available might motivate somebody to come forward with some information.
So far, investigators have received more than 370 tips in regards to Michael. Chief Huff says they are making an effort to follow up on each one of them. Investigators are encouraging anyone with any information, please contact police. At 10, a $10,000 reward.
So the first, after the first week, I want to say that Monday, we were asking about if we could if we could get a reward fund. We had been saving money because we were trying to buy a house, and we had a significant amount of money that we were, please take it, please take it, please put it in a reward fund. And they kept suggesting to us that we wait, that we hold off on that. We were wanting to do that. So when JD informed us that this anonymous donor, this amazing person, they did tell, I do know that they did tell JD that if Michael was to come home to his family safely, that would be the best money he ever spent in his life. That's what I know. Oh, okay. Sorry. He was
Awesome.
Yeah. So then after that, I think there was a couple of different fundraisers that happened, and we had donated, after that, I believe we had donated a significant amount into it, and then there was another $10,000 donation from another community member, and then there was, I believe, I want to say there was a poker run, and that was, they asked me where to give the money to, and I told them the Fruitland Police Department, and Tyler and I had gone down to the JD, wanted us to come down, and he had a bank bag full of money from this fundraiser, and I was like, I don't even want to touch it. I was like, put it in Michael's reward fund. Everything that people wanted to donate, I for the longest time was, please donate to Michael's reward fund. We donated everything we had. We drained all of our savings and everything like that. I mean, and it's still there. So there was an issue that happened. Reward funds have sunset dates.
Has what?
Sunset dates.
Okay.
So when a reward fund is posted and issued, that money is protected. That money is protected by the city. So once that's there, it's there. And when the reward fund, okay, I lost my train of thought. The reward fund was
Sunset.
posted.
You said something about sunset.
So the way it came out was that Michael's reward fund was going to expire March 31st of 2022, I want to say. And the reason that happened was to get, hopefully and potentially, anyone that had information, to have them come forward sooner. So, because everybody was like, why is it expiring? Why is it not saying? And we had no idea anything about this. So we found out actually via social media because people were asking us about it. And so, of course, I immediately go there and ask them what's going on. But So JD explained it to us, and then we found out that it would be, he was going to announce that it would be extended forever. So, because obviously that amount of time that the reward fund was there, the people that had the information about Michael, it wasn't enticing enough to them. So, Michael's reward fund still stands as it is. And if you have information, lead me to Michael, please. There's $56,000, $52,000 there, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't remember right now, but it's over $50,000.
Right. And you also, this is good information for people that may have to deal with this in the future, that there could be hiccups. I know I found another news clip that talks about the fact that Fruitland police had to reinstate that reward money. So is that what you're talking about? Reinstating the refund or the reward, I mean?
Yeah, so when that sunset date did hit,
Mhm.
they reinstated. I mean, it didn't go anywhere, but it was reinstated indefinitely. And there is JD does comment about it. He does talk about it.
And something else, I know that was important for you to let other people know if they're gonna, have to raise money or do a reward for their missing loved one. Is it's not easy to get that money back once your money's in there.
Mm-mm. No, that's one thing JD said. He's like, once that money is in there, it's going to be really, really difficult to get back. And I'm like, well, it's not our money. It's Michael's. It's for Michael. I mean, that's what it is.
Exactly.
When Michael comes home, I did say that we were going to probably donate that money to foundations, agencies that have helped in Michael's case, where it could go and be needed. So.
And because you talked about the poker run, because we're talking about this reinstatement, I'll give you a little break, play a couple of clips that I found, because the poker run that was done is really important. You've got a lot of people doing some fundraising for this reward money. And I just want to share with everybody again another part that the community took in helping the family. This first one is going to be the fundraising event that Brandi just mentioned. It was called the Poker Run. This happened on, I believe, August 21st of 2021. So almost a month after Michael's abduction.
Leaving no stone unturned in the search for a missing Fruitland boy. And they say they have followed up on more than 200 tips now since 5-year-old Michael Vaughan disappeared 2 weeks ago. Along the way, the tight-knit community of Fruitland has come together to help with the search and support the family. Our Ricardo Coronado has the latest.
Next weekend, the group Treasure Valley Long Riders will be hosting a fundraiser ride to support the Vaughan family while continuing to raise awareness about Michael's disappearance. Flyers for missing 5-year-old Michael Vaughan dot storefront windows across the city of Fruitland. Police, now in their second week of searching for the boy, reported him missing near his home on July 27th on Southwest 9th Street.
We've never had this thing happen in our community before, and it's absolutely devastating. I think that's why the community is coming together in such force to show the family the support that we're here for them.
Terry Short, a resident of Payette and founder of the Treasure Valley Long Riders, says she was asked by a friend of Vaughan's family if the group would organize a fundraiser to support the family. The event, called the Bring Monkey Home Poker Run, references the little boy's nickname. It's set for August 21st in Caldwell.
Right now, that family, I can't imagine that this is their worst nightmare. This is any parent's worst nightmare. And I can't imagine trying to work and try to carry on with a normal life while your child is missing. This right here helps the parents focus on trying to find their child. And we're just trying to ease their day-to-day expenses.
Fruitland police say they're investigating hundreds of tips and reviewing hours of security footage from the area in the hopes to finding new leads. Fruitland is an agricultural town sandwiched between the Snake and Paya rivers and crisscrossed by irrigation ditches and canals. It's made the search more difficult. Police say recent efforts included looking through the French Drain near Hidden Meadows subdivision. Church says they've already got a great response from community members that plan to attend their event.
That's what we're hoping, is that this ride also brings awareness to Michael's plight, to the plight of Michael missing, and continue the search for Michael and never let this die. We have to bring Michael home.
Ricardo Coronado, Idaho News 6.
The community, I am blown away by the community here. I mean, because it's not often you see so much going on. And here's another clip of another community member volunteering, basically coming together to help try to raise money for the Vaughan family.
Takes an unbelievable toll on a family. Just about everything else in life is put on hold. And that's what's happened to the family of 5-year-old Michael Vaughan. Tomorrow, he will have been missing for 3 weeks and still no clue to his fate. And tonight, volunteers are deep in preparations for a fundraiser with the chance or the idea to at least ease the financial stress on the Vaughan family. CBS 2's Michaela Ellich was in Ontario today talking with one of those volunteers.
Be kind to someone just because you can.
Cheryl Farley lives by that simple creed, and it's why she's making dozens of baskets that will be auctioned off this Saturday. Baskets are filled with cookware, wine bottles, earrings, and clothes, all donated and delicately put together and wrapped by Cheryl.
I try to get kids, teenagers, adult men, and adult women, things that everybody will like.
As baskets fill up, Cheryl hopes each will draw a generous donation that can be given to the family of Michael Joseph Vaughan, the little 5-year-old who's been missing now for almost 3 weeks.
We don't know what their situation is. We don't know what their financial situation is, and we just do what we do because it's the right thing to do.
Bless her heart. I thought, watching that, what a wonderful, wonderful woman she was. Did you ever get to meet either of those two women, the one that put the poker run together or the one that made the baskets?
I don't think I personally met her. I have met so many people, especially during the first couple months, the first couple weeks. So many people. Just so sweet, so kind. Terry, the one that organized that run, I have met her. And she's on my Facebook, and there's so many community members. There's another one, a salon that did an auction as well. There were people that did haircuts. There was at the Broken Halo, which is now Kelly owns it. Go get Kellyfied in Payette. She owns that place now, and had a tin if anybody wanted to donate some money or something like that, or they were donating their tips that they were getting, and we actually ended up using that money to pay for the postage of all of the monkey mail that we sent out, and the flyers, the bracelets, the yard signs that were mailed out. That's what we used that money for.
What
So
is monkey mail? It's the first time I've
monkey
ever
mail.
heard that. What is that?
So we were trying to get monkeys flyers, monkeys information picture in every single one of the states in the United States, and um, so there was a lovely group of people that we gave them the bracelets, the wallet-sized cards that had the information, the tip line, Michael's
I
picture
remember seeing
on.
those.
Yep, those flyers. Some of them I had just sent pictures of Michael with them. So that would, if you emailed and said you wanted awareness materials, they would take your name down and pack you up a little monkey package, and you get your bracelets and awareness materials in the mail. And we covered, I believe, all 50 states. I want
Oh,
to say
wow.
we even covered some in Canada too.
And you couldn't have done all of that, without the help from your community.
I couldn't have done a quarter of what I have been able to do to bring awareness for Michael without the community and people from around the world. There's been a lot of support.
How are you feeling during the month of August? I mean, was there anything in particular that really sticks out to you in August of 21, just the month after Michael was abducted? Anything you can think of that just...
I was lost. I just kept walking. I walked the fields. I walked day or night. I just did the motions, waiting outside. I think, it was a little bit before the older two came home, just because of everything that was going on the first few months. I mean, we had police investigators in our home every single day, or we were at the police station every single day. So, I mean, and then when they needed the kids to be brought in for interviews and fingerprinting and DNA and all of that stuff,
So
it
basically,
was,
still doing a lot of what you were already doing, going back and forth to the police station. Still, kids are still talking to police. You guys are just back and forth, and Did it get any easier taking care of Pidge and Ben and Buggy? I mean, not easier emotionally, but just did life get any easier at all?
no, we
Did it just get harder?
harder the longer the time went on, not knowing. And then when JD had said at a press conference that we were at, he introduced Buggy. Everybody wanted to be there. We didn't have a babysitter for Buggy at that time, and JD had said that he had multiple persons that were being uncooperative. That was the first time I had ever heard that. That was at that press conference. We all heard that. We were like, "What? What did he just say?" Because we had no
Oh,
idea.
wow.
Yeah. And then right directly after that is when Tyler and I did that interview on the front lawn with KTVD, and Buggy's running around tickling everybody.
I remember that interview.
That was right directly after that press conference when JD said that there were multiple persons.
Not cooperating.
Correct.
Did you ever find out who it was not cooperating?
Not until they showed up at our front door that November. They
Wow.
told us that they were I remember Juanita and JD. Yeah, they were all there. They all came in.
And you're talking about November 2022?
Yes. They said that there was a person that they had arrested. I didn't know what she was arrested for. We didn't know anything of really other than that there was a person arrested and that they were digging up the yard.
So they, wow.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what that moment was for you right then, because you've already explained to us how it was when they started searching canals, and now you're saying somebody's came forward and actually,
They said
said
that they
Michael.
received a tip that Michael was in the backyard. They didn't tell us who. They didn't tell us any of that. If they did, I don't remember. That was the day That was the day.
You say that was the day you broke?
Mhm.
I'm so sorry, honey. It turns this nightmare that you've already been living for already a year, and nothing's gotten any better, and then it turns the nightmare you're already living into a bigger nightmare, because we've talked about how hard it was for you, because law enforcement tells you you can't go over there, don't go over there, because it's in the other subdivision in your neighborhood. What was that like, finding out that it was just right at the other subdivision?
I couldn't believe it was that damn close. I just couldn't believe that it was that close. All that searching. It just didn't make sense at all.
It's not even a 4-minute walk from your house.
All the searches that were done, everything that was done, and that it still is just fucking devastating. It was right here.
I know you have also spoken about the equipment that they were using to dig in the Wanderer's backyard, coming up and down 8th Street, and how difficult it was for you to hear that every day.
No matter where you go in the house. I mean, you could turn the TV was up loud and drowning it out. But I sat out here. You can hear the cars going by. So when you hear backhoes and dump trucks when they back up, that noise is quite loud and it echoes. And I sat on a stump right at the end of the road. Where Monkey and I used to sit, and there was a stump, just a regular stump there forever. We would sit out there and watch the sunset because we always wanted to go see the mountain, the Butte Tower in Ontario. You can see it. And I sat right there and I watched him. I watched him leave, come back every day. I was up before the sounds would start. I'd see FBI agents that they had their cars lined along the field. kind of protecting that area going into that subdivision. I sat there the entire time.
Did you hear the equipment when it was over in the subdivision?
Because everything.
Didn't
Not
law
like
enforcement try to talk you into like staying at a hotel or motel or something during this time because they didn't want you guys traumatized from all of that?
I can't remember. Probably. I know. I asked the kids and I explained to them what was going on because they were here that morning. So talked to the kids and they went and stayed with their dad for a couple weeks while this all went on. So they didn't have to be around it.
I'm so
Maybe
sorry.
this year we had our family here. That was the one press conference that well, when they came and told us that they were Katie was going to do a press conference. And they said, we want you all to be here at home together. The news will be there, so it'll be on the news. And they didn't tell us. We had no idea what Katie was going to say. So we were sitting there, we all had to watch it on the news just like everybody else. We learned all that information at the same time everybody else.
I
still
I'm
can't
just so
even remember that day. Like, I remember going to the bathroom and throwing up. And I remember wanting to there holding my hair. And I'm just hysterical. And she's telling me that we were going to get him. She promised that we're going to find him. Oh, I didn't think I was going to live. I really thought my heart, I think my heart stopped that day. I swear it did. No.
How long did you have to deal with them in your neighborhood? And I don't mean deal with them in a bad way. I'm just like, you're going through so much. How long did you have to go through all that emotion with them over there?
2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks. Well, here in the trucks was a full week. Because they had to play as well.
Did you ever go over there?
No. Not not when they were searching, no.
Good, I'm glad you didn't do that. Were reporters trying to reach out to you during this time?
They talked to, well, I can't even remember who they talked to at the time. I think I may have texted Morgan Romero or Tristan Lewis at the time. I think I maybe have made a statement, but they were very respectful. They waited. I remember one of the news reporters, because during that time is when up in Moscow the students that were murdered in at U of I. She was reporting, I can't remember what day it was, and she had found out, and it was just awful and sad all the way around. Jesus. That was difficult. She started crying. Can you imagine, reporting on one of the most horrific things to happen to a little child, and then 4 other children. My heart broke for her at that time.
How was Tyler doing? I mean, what was going on with Tyler after you guys found out all of this?
He was a mess. His sister was consoling him mostly. Each other, as we were all just consoling each other.
I know this is difficult. I'm so sorry. I feel bad right now because I know you're kind of like reliving this whole friggin' nightmare, and I'm just so sorry.
It's so hard. I can't let myself. Yeah, I could talk about it. When I talk about this, I can feel it all. I go back to those books. No, no, no parents should ever have to go through something like that. All of that torture, and for it not even to be there. I don't think there could be anything more cruel.
Right? And when they don't find Michael there, I mean, were they telling you immediately, like before JD Huff does his press conference, does he tell you that based off evidence, we believe that Michael Vaughan was there and then moved to another location? I mean, how did they talk to you about that? Because I'm sure they're not just going to let you hear that during, off the TV, off the news.
It was quiet from what I remember for a few hours, and I want to say we had the detectives and the captain come over. After that, we didn't know anything before what JD said. We learned it just like you all did.
Did you hear about Sarah Wandra's arrest at that time also? Did you say that that's what you heard, that they had arrested somebody? They were over there looking for Michael? Is that what you said?
Yes, but I didn't know what the reason was for. I didn't know that she was arrested for. They may have told me. They may have told us. That I completely did not remember it or anything like that if they did. So what I did find out was I found out on social media actually that what her charges were. That's how I found out her charges.
Oh, wow. So these are the charges. Sarah Wandra is arrested immediately. She's telling law enforcement on November 12th, 2022, that Stacy Wandra killed Michael, buried him in the backyard. Almighty God had told her this is what Stacy had done, that Stacy had did it, and then she's immediately arrested for not reporting the death of Michael Vaughan. And you
Yes.
learned that from Facebook? From social
No, I
media?
learned it from YouTube. Yeah. There was a creator that apparently had called the jailhouse and reported it live, and I was on the live. I was on Purple Phoenixes actually. Um, and I remember because I was out by the front, the mailbox, because a friend of mine had just come in from Boise to be here, and they had said that she had said that Sarah Wander had been arrested for failure to report Michael's death. And I just went off the handle. I said, that's wrong. I don't believe it. Why would law enforcement say that before they told us? And honestly, I don't know if they really did. If they did, they probably did. And I was just so irate. And I wasn't here.
Did you try looking it up any other way to find out? Or did you call law enforcement to ask what
I
the
called
hell?
law enforcement. I called law enforcement. And yeah, they reassured and said, yep, that is what she was arrested for. And there wasn't a lot of conversating while the excavation was going on. It was just a lot of family together and everybody was crying, praying,
Yeah,
just
because what
waiting.
else can you do? Because you're
Yeah,
being told what's going on over there, and I hate to put this so bluntly, but you're basically waiting either, you know, how
yeah,
do you
to
even
see.
put that? You're waiting to find out if they're gonna find him there or not, and it's not gonna be good if they do.
Right. And if he's not, then where is he and why did they say he was there?
When did you learn that Stacy Wandra was the person who gave the tip? A resident
Jeez.
of that home.
It was not. I can't remember. I can't remember when I found that out.
I know it was reported quite early in a newspaper. I want to say
Yeah,
it may have been the Argus Observer.
it could have been. That part I honestly truly don't remember.
Yeah. Did you eventually get to look at Sarah Wander's face?
Yeah, in court. I was there for one of her arraignments. I was there. I saw her in person twice, I think, and she looked directly at me as she was leaving to go out, and she kind of like she was walking away, she kind of like cocked her head to the side a little bit, and then tried to give like sad eyes, but then had this like smirk, like.
She's a monster.
Mhm.
Out of all of the suspects, she's one of those that um, I don't know that boy. I never met that boy. I never kidnapped that boy. That's all she
I
reiterates still
definitely
to
did
this
not
day.
kill that boy.
Yeah.
I hope they're all suffering. I know that's kind of evil to say, but it's how I feel and it's the truth.
Well, that's your emotions, that's your feelings. It is the truth. And we're here to talk about the truth. We're here to talk about exactly how you feel. We're not going to sugarcoat anything. We stopped doing that a long time ago.
Yeah.
No more sugarcoating.
There's no room. There's no sugarcoating anything anymore. It's because it's not. There's no candy coating any of it. It's awful, horrible. Everything, every moment of it.
It was very difficult for you. I know you had a very, very difficult time wanting to even believe that Michael could not be here with you, with your family, that he was gone and had passed. And I mean, that lasted for so long. It's really only been a little bit over a year since you have been able to even say that Michael passed, you know?
I don't even like the word murdered. I couldn't say that for the longest time. It still makes me sick to say it. So my diaphragm goes like this, even the thought of it. So you can tell when you hear me breathe. Where are we going here? Do you have another clip?
I can put up another clip.
Oh, I was just asking if
I do. Do you need a moment, babe?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Give you a moment. Let me get over here real quick.
Oh yeah, that's right. Paradigm. Yeah, Sarah's mom's clutching her chest in there and mumbling under her breath. She's such a good girl. Get out of here. Ooh. I was not happy. I guess I was that's when I was recorded and put on YouTube.
A different recording than the first one you spoke about?
I was in the courtroom and I guess somebody recorded was in the Zoom and recorded and put it out. I don't know. It was public anyways, so people could have joined it. But sitting there analyzing my body language and stuff like that, thinking they know anything. Yeah. Leave it at that. But yeah. Sorry. My brain
No,
is
you're fine.
blanked out right now.
I am going to pull up this because this is what we are talking about right now. You may not want to watch as it's going to be video of, them coming to the neighborhood to go to the Wanderer's backyard.
Crews are back out in Fruitland today searching for Michael Vaughan. Police believe his remains are in the backyard of a Fruitland home, and today is the 6th day crews are excavating the yard. Now, Fruitland Police Chief J.D. Huff didn't say whether they found anything yet. He says crews could be at the house on Red Wing Street for another week. This house is just 4 minutes from the Vaughn's home. Police arrested one of the people who live in the home. 35-year-old Sarah Wandra was booked into jail over the weekend, charged with failure to report a death. Police say they have probable cause to believe she knew about Michael's death and didn't report it to police. Chief Huff says she has not been cooperative with the investigation. He also shared this statement on social media last night. He says, in part, "We are encouraged and remain hopeful that our investigation will lead us to the truth."
Monkey Mondays, where
Sweet Wendy's voice there at the end. I am just so sorry. We have been on.
Yeah, it's time to go.
2 hours and almost 20 minutes. And
colors. Papa is painted. He is the best salon guest ever.
Well, we got a little bit off topic and we talked about this November 22 thing that happened. And I know you've been really wanting to get that off your chest because you said that is going to be the most difficult thing for you to have to talk about was when law enforcement came to tell you that they were at the Wanderer's house. I'm so sorry, doll. I'm glad you're getting a weekend break and a Monday break because we'll let Purple do Monkey Monday at the round table, and you'll be able to have a breather from everything. And you can breathe as long as you want, even if you don't want to get through next week or put anything up. I mean,
Yeah.
I could even go live and put up
I do
some
have a
news clips.
court appearance to make next week, so I don't have to, but I'm going to.
Oh,
For
would
the
you like to
woman.
talk to everybody about the court date that you have next week that you want to attend?
So the woman that took down Michael's signs and destroyed them will be sentenced next week for theft with malicious intent. I haven't been given a reason why, but that's what they're being charged with, and I was asking for the restitution for the banner and the yard signs. We were able to figure that out. That banner alone was over $400. So that money I'm just gonna take and put right back in, even though we have the new donated banners. There are Lana has been looking in a specific area. We're talking to businesses over there and finding out where we can put one of the big banners up and flyers with the suspect pictures on them. So, because that stuff is not cheap at all,
Yeah.
especially if you want it to last.
No, it is not cheap. I am glad that this woman that decided I'm just going to be a cranky old lady, rip down all of Michael's stuff, and that she is going to have consequences to pay.
Yeah. And anybody else that anyone that is trying to do nefarious acts towards our family or towards the finding the justice in Michael's case and bringing Michael home, I'm not going to be nice about it. Michael is still missing. He was abducted and murdered by these four monsters, and the people that are helping them, trying to get them to get away with this, in my opinion. I will pursue the full extent of the law. You have my word. I was hoping that maybe it was just too hard for her to see Michael. I was hoping that maybe that was the case, and if that would have been the case, I would have been, I guess, more understanding. But to my understanding, it was nothing like that at
Well,
all.
she's going to have a hard time seeing your face sitting there in court, so let that sink in a little bit. Oh my God.
Yeah.
She just pisses me off. That whole thing just makes me so angry because, even though Michael isn't here with us, there were still phone numbers, important things, his face to help remind everybody that Michael Vaughan is missing and that he was abducted. She's going to have to face you in court. She's going to have to look at you instead of looking at those banners, and more are going to go up. And when, she's going to see those and then what?
And even more.
Yeah.
I mean, Paige posted about it as well and said whoever is taking down my brother's flyers that my mom and I put up, disgusting or something like that. And she said, it doesn't matter because we'll just keep putting more up. Leave her, oh, and then she said, leave my brother's signs alone. No, I do not know her. No, I don't.
Well, and something else that you had talked about too is that you should be able to spend time with Buggy, going to the park, playing with her, letting her paint at the house or go rocking or do anything, but you're having to take Buggy with you and she's having to help you put back all of these signs. So her taking down those signs is affecting all of you, and it's making you have to work harder to advocate more for Michael. And like I told you already, you know, the only good thing that has even came out of all of this is the fact that those 4 monsters' faces, these 4 suspects that have been named in Michael's case, their faces are now going to be on everything. Oh.
I'm about to die. My stuff is about to die. So it is time for me to get off of here.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go make something to eat.
All right, honey. I will talk at you again later, and thank you so much for sharing with us. And I'm sorry. This one was a difficult one. It was a hard one. I love you.
I love you too, and thank you, everybody. I know I'm all over the place, but I'm telling you, when I talk about this, I'm going directly back to that time. My body is reliving it. I told Sam yesterday I was having waves of like goosebumps and almost to a panic attack. So, but it's really, I appreciate everybody that takes the time to listen and not judge. That I really appreciate. So, I love you all. Thank you again. Please continue to share Michael's picture, those 4 suspects. We need that. We need that person to come forward. If you suspected anything during that time frame, the 27th on, if you are thinking about something of those 4 suspects, if you know something, please. All we want is to bring him home and lay him to rest. And yes, we would like to have him buried. Yeah, so we may have somewhere to go. I had already had Michael and myself. So that is the hope.
Oh, she's losing us. She's dying, and everything's dying. It's disconnecting. We love you, honey. Very, very difficult life for Mama today. We had spoken about everything that we were going to speak about, and November of 2022, when Stacy Wandra confesses to law enforcement and tells them everything that we have gone over here at Missing PNW in the preliminary hearing, all 9.5 or longer hours of videos, multiple different stories, but came down right to, the fact that these 4 suspects, Stacy Wandra, Sarah Wandra, Adrian Lucian, and Brandon Shirtliff, abducted Michael. Trigger warning, because I'm going to be a mama bear right now, and I'm upset because Brandi's upset. These 4 monsters abducted Michael. They brought him into the Wanderer's home. He was screaming and yelling and fighting, screaming for his mother. They were telling him to shut up. They duct taped him. They put him in a duffel bag with clothes. Stacy Wanderer even mentions insulin, being given to Michael. He's put in the bed of a truck. He's driven to Cuna, where he stays overnight. The suspects go back and get him the next day, and a year later, the Vaughan family finds out that little Michael had been buried in the Wanderer's yard, not even 4 minutes away, and at some point moved from the Wanderer's backyard to some unknown location, told that somebody was arrested. Didn't find out until later that it was Sarah Wandra who was arrested for not reporting the death of Michael Vaughan. Could you imagine being Michael Vaughan's parent, knowing that suspects that lived in the opposite direction of you in another subdivision, not 4.5 minutes away, are the people that took, abducted, and murdered your child? And then to have to come up here on panel or talk not only about this, but all the other times that Brandi Vaughan and Tyler Vaughan have talked to reporters, done news conferences, advocating for their son, believing for over 3 years, because they didn't come to terms with Michael's death for years. Finding out that he was just buried 4 minutes away. I don't know about you, but that is just one of the hardest things I've ever heard of in a missing child's case. And these 4 suspects are responsible for that grief, for that anguish, for the fear, for the panic, the anxiety, the not being able to eat, the not being able to sleep, the times that Brandi had collapsed, all of the hanging up flyers, walking around until her shoes are worn off. Brandi Vaughan even walked in the winter time until she was almost got frostbite. And to come to find out, all that time, Michael was in the other subdivision 4 minutes away. It's absolutely outrageous. It's sickening. She says she has to go puke when she finds this out. She talks about the trauma that she is going through, that the family had to go through all there together 2 weeks straight, had to have Ben and Pidge leave and go stay with other family members because she didn't want them there to hear the machinery, the dump trucks, the excavating machinery. Callie here in chat talking about how they had to close down 9th Street because people, I guess, decide, you know, this is just some kind of show. We're just going to drive by and see what's going on. And then you have all of the news reporters also coming in and out of the neighborhood, and 8th Street divides that subdivision. So this, all of the machinery is coming up and down 8th Street. Not only that, they can hear the machinery that they're using to dig, and they hear that for 2 weeks. And then later to be told, like, he's not there, but we believe that Michael once was there. And now you're like, what? And throughout this time, the Vaughan family has seen the confession footage now of Stacy Wandra giving us all of the details, and they hear at the preliminary hearing that Michael was screaming for his mom, and they had to walk out of the courtroom, come back after lunch. The nightmare isn't anything that anybody would want to live through. Brandi describes all of this as a nightmare, and that's exactly what it is. It's your worst nightmare. It's something you don't ever want to go through. You don't want any of your friends or family members to ever have to go through. And here she is talking about it, talking about her worst nightmare, her son. And all she wants is for him to come home. Come home so she can lay him to rest, so they can bury him, so they have a place to go visit Michael. And she doesn't have that because Brandon Shirtliff doesn't want to tell law enforcement where Michael is buried. And she has so much more to tell, so much more to give as far as advocating for Michael, because she's never going to stop. She really and truly is an unstoppable force and one of the strongest mothers I've ever met in my life. And we're Monkey's Army, and we're never going anywhere until justice is served. I believe that Stacey Wander will be the first one convicted of first-degree murder, second-degree kidnapping, and destruction of evidence. And I hope when that happens that the family is able to get some more peace. But what I really want for them is Michael to come home. And if you have a tip, please be the Vaughan family's hero and bring Michael home. You can call 208-642-6006, or you can email findmichael@fruitland.org. No tip is too big or too small. Let law enforcement decide. If it's bothering you, if you've been thinking about the information that you've had and it's been on your mind, it's something you need to call in to law enforcement. It's so hard, even that. It's just so hard to believe that this is their nightmare. And even harder when you love the family so very much. Please call in that tip, 208-642-6006, or email findmichael@fruitland.org. There is a reward over $52,000, and you can remain anonymous. They just want Monkey home. That's all any of us want. Please, please, please share Michael's stories. Share his smile, his beautiful face. Share these 4 suspects, and keep praying for the Vaughan family. Yesterday when we got off live, I called Brandi, and I'm like, I'm just letting you know, if it's too difficult, if tomorrow's going to be too difficult for you, just let me know. I'm not putting up a thumbnail. I'll give you a few hours to think about it. She said, nope, put that thumbnail up. I'm like, are you sure? Let me give you a few hours. She's like, nope, put it up. That's how strong Brandi is. That's how strong she is. That's how much she wants to tell Michael's story, her family's story. This is probably one of the most important things she has ever done. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. Not for her, not for their family, not for her family that comes into chat, that listens, not for me to be here and watch her cry and talk about all of the things. And it's hard. It's so hard. So please, please just send out some prayers and lift her up, because right now I am being grateful for the weekend and thankful that it's here so that Brandi gets a break. but I know she'll be up and roaring and ready to go next week. So please make sure you have hit the notification bell. Exactly, Kelly. Giving up is not an option. And thank you, Under Your Scars. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for the long run. I'm here till all 4 suspects are arrested and put in prison for the rest of their lives, or get the DP, or however that's going to go. Whew. I love you guys so much. Thank you all for being here to support Michael, to support the Vaughan family, support for me and this channel. And we've got a lot more to talk about. Brandi's got a lot she wants to talk about. So, like I said, we are going by Brandi's schedule, Brandi's mental health and her emotional health. So if you want to make sure to be here, please make sure to click that notification bell and hit that thumbs up. We want Brandi's story to be heard, and it really does help get this out in the algorithm. And she deserves a thumb up. She deserves so much more, and I wish I could give her so much more. Brandi, I know you're out there listening. I love you. We're here for you. And I know it's not easy, but thank you. And I know you want to be here to talk about all of the things, and I'm truly grateful for you and honored that you have chosen to talk and tell your story. And I'm friggin' proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I love everybody. I'm going to get off of here. I hope everybody has a great weekend. We'll be back Tuesday if Brandi's feeling up to it. And if she's not, I might come back and just throw up some more news articles that I've been able to pull up to talk about other things that were going on during this time. I mean, she's only talked about the first couple of weeks, and so much, isn't there? There's so much. My mind is having a hard time grasping that so much that was going on, all of the searches, all of the volunteers, the back and forth to the police, everything. It's just so much. I didn't even realize how much they had went through that first couple of weeks. And this is all putting it into perspective for me. I hope it's doing the same thing for you, because that's what Brandi wants. Again, that tip line phone number is 208-642-6006, or email findmichael@fruitwoman.org. Thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate you all.